This brand generates over $275 million a year, and their email strategy is both brilliant and somewhat flawed. And in this video, I'm breaking down exactly what they're doing right, where they're leaking conversions, and what you should steal today for your e-commerce brand. Now, before I get into today's video, just so you know, I'm qualified to talk on the topic of email marketing and scaling e-commerce brands. Here you can see an example of a brand we've been working with actually for the past 5+ years. And for this year, we've generated over $600,000 just in email revenue. We also have SMS live on PostScript for this brand. We're actually bringing in over 40% of their attributed revenue. I think it's close to 50% actually, their attributed revenue from email and SMS marketing. You can see we're up around 60% on attributed revenue for email only compared to last year. Very, very good year for this brand. And right now, if you want to scale your e-commerce brand, we are offering complimentary retention audits where we highlight the biggest ROI opportunities for your brand and your email and SMS marketing strategy. We'll give you the action plan completely free, and you can choose whether or not you want to work with us at the end of the call. Now, go ahead and book a call. The link is in the description. This is OPositiv. It's a woman's health supplement brand that, in my opinion, doesn't look like a supplement brand. We have hot pink branding, lifestyle positioning, really aggressive discounting with a heavy visual identity, as well as a very structured welcome system. Now, we're going to start with the pop-up because it's where the traffic begins for email marketing. And here they use a gamified micro commitment. They actually use a spin to wheel pop-up where they get step 1 is, hey, spin to win, unlock up to 20% off. You can either spin or you can click no thanks. And then step 2 is where you enter in your email. And then step 3 is where you ask for the SMS. So essentially, what they're doing here is they're using psychology to get you to enter in your email address. And this works because it reframes the sign up as, winning something, right? We're not opting in, we're winning. I believe this is psychology that's quite powerful. Now, the pop-up promises up to 20% off, but you'll see in a moment that the welcome email delivers 25% off with the code new25. Now, that could feel like over delivery, or it could feel sloppy. Either way, it's a reminder. Audit your pop-up against your welcome flow, because the first interaction is where trust is built or broken. Now, I think that could work in their favor, but just be careful with your margins. All right, maybe they didn't want to be giving away that much. We'll see the structure before I get into the email examples. You've got email 1, which is sent immediately. Discount. 10 hours later, the project showcase. 40 hours later, we have the social proof. Another 24 hours later, we have urgency, urgency, and urgency, right? It's clear sequence, clear intent, but as you'll see, execution really matters. Let's get on to email 1, and I'll walk you through what they do really well. The great thing is they deliver the code immediately. Trust instantly built just by doing that. And they segment by use case, targeting a specific issue, elevating your routines. You can see here you have Euro, Flow, Meno for different use cases. That reduces overwhelm. It makes it super easy to understand what it is that I'm buying, or what it is that what's the problem I'm trying to solve, and how do I solve it. But what do they miss? All right, we have here 2 competing codes. We've got New25, but then at the bottom here we've got Mood 25. All right, now the subscriber at this point is, especially if they got down to the bottom point here, they're thinking instead of buying. We don't want them to be thinking too much. All right, obviously thinking is good, but when it comes to buying something like this, it's very much an impulse buy, especially when they've just entered in their email, right? Something else that's also missing and can be replaced here, I mean, they've gone over the top with the offer. I think you mention it once, that's great. You don't need to keep mentioning it the whole way through. Maybe you can mention it one more time at the bottom, but here it's just like offer, and this is kind of like a different offer, right? To maximize on your email real estate here and make sure your every module matters. Here, what they could be including is some kind of mission statement, some kind of emotional hook or reason why they exist. I think there's a real missed opportunity here at peak attention. Keeping copy short, punchy, great. But, having some kind of mission statement, some kind of emotional hook that relates to your audience, and then, a reason why we exist. Why did we create the brand in the first place? And I think you can definitely include that here. I don't think you could have it after or even before the bestsellers. a very, 2 or 1 small module leading in with an emotional hook, coming in with your mission and why you exist. I think it's something very simple and doesn't have to be too complicated. And again, maybe leaving this for another email or maybe an email campaign. It doesn't even have to be in a flow. Email 2. They lead here with outcomes, not ingredients, not science, benefits first. And that's super strong. You can see here, again, they mentioned the offer again. You discover your new favorites for healthy this, for this, for this, for this. So it's clearly going in with the benefits, not just say, oh, we've got X, Y, Z ingredient, and being flashy with ingredients. They go in with the benefits, which is very good, right? But there's zero social proof to back up these benefits they're talking about, right? And this brand has a lot of reviews. I think they have over 20,000 reviews, right? And none of it shows up here when they're mentioning the benefits. And that's really leaving trust and conversions on the table. Also, 6 products, equal weight, lots of different products, but there's no start here, making it very simple. Choice. And I think choice without guidance can create some hesitation, but that's minor compared to the fact that there's no social proof. Now, talking about social proof, email 3 does finally bring some social proof in there, but again, we could have done this earlier, at least a little section in the email. It's not a problem. And I believe now email 3 is where it starts to get really good. And they start to do it really well. And here we've got real names with specific results and the time to impact, which for supplement brands is super important. Here we have, after years of being insecure, it only took 5 days to notice a huge change. In less than a month, I basically can't smell myself at all. Finally, something that really works, hot flashes, painful sex, and lack of libido are gone. I'm beyond happy and recommend this to all my friends. This is really good. And again, real. They look like real people. Again, it might not be the real people, but again, having lifestyle imagery here is really important as well. The social proof email should do one thing, and it should address objections. And that is something that OPositiv have done great. But even here, I think a way it could be improved is there's no real UGC, right? Again, like I mentioned, they have 20,000 plus reviews, an army of TikTok creators that are generating content. Here, they could be using some of that UGC content instead of some of these, what they appear to be paid models in their emails, right? Which I believe will add more authenticity to their visuals. Now, in 2026, if you have your UGC and you're not using it, I really think that's a big waste. Anytime you're using social proof, I would opt in UGC over having the paid models any day. Email 4 is the urgency push. Again, you have the banner here, but messaging was changed to it that it's expiring soon, limited time messaging. They also include some kind of bundle here, bundle and save bestsellers, right, to increase AOV, which is super smart. I think every brand should be including some kind of bundle and save or bundle option, even if you don't save, but some kind of bundle option in their welcome series emails. It can be on the first email, in the statement, or on the bottom, but definitely bundles should be in pretty much, I would say, almost every single one, even if it's just a small module at the bottom of your welcome series emails, with the purpose of increasing AOV, right, on the initial purchase. Now, here's a slight problem, and something that we want to avoid is, every email has urgency, but nothing really expires, right? It says it's expiring soon, but nothing expires soon. And now here the code changes to last chance instead of a new 25. It's the same discount. It's just adding a new confusion, right? And again, checkout hesitation increases. If you just keep the same discount code, people will remember that going forward, and it'll make it easier for them to check out. But you have a different discount code here with no actual real urgency, about when it's ending. It just says it's expiring soon. Again, creating hesitation. Hesitation increases the fact that they may not convert. But before I end it, I do want to say some things that they do extremely well in their emails and that you guys can steal is that they have a lot of benefit-driven clarity where they sell outcomes first. Again, big plus. And a bold visual identity. They have the hot pink, high contrast, and it's super recognizable in the inbox. They don't look clinical. They actually look a bit like they're a movement. Minimalistic, but still a movement of kind, and that's how they stand out. That difference matters. So you see here an overview of all the campaigns they've been sending out, and here you can get a real idea of how they're recognizable in the inbox with the the strong visuals, strong color palettes, and yeah, overall big copy. Now it's a lot of discounts, a lot of offers popping up, but otherwise overall they do stand out. I think a big missed opportunity is the fact that they have 4 certified doctors on their advisory board, right? And for some reason, I don't know, I don't work with OPositiv, but for some reason, none of them appear in the emails, right? No, I know, simple plain text Q&A with the doctors, no myth bust, like debunking from a doctor's point of view, or like no expert voice, like no ask the expert. I think for a supplement brand, authority is a real big leverage point. You know, I think a simple plain text email from a doctor explaining the science would likely outperform maybe even 50% of the designed campaigns that they're sending out. So I think overall, this brand proves something important, is that design and benefits can drive serious scale, but friction, code confusion, and missing authority quietly caps conversions. Now, what should you do, right? What can you take away from this? I believe there's 5 or so points, right? First of all, you have aligning your pop-up and your welcome offers. Very, very simple, but super important. Number 2 is to remove competing discount codes. So if you haven't in a while, go through, have a look at your discount codes and clear out any ones that don't, no longer are in use or needed. Number 3 is to lead with outcomes. Always, always, always lead with outcomes when you can, or at least include some outcome. And then 4 is add guided recommendations to make it easier to start in this moment. Don't overload them with all kinds of different products. Make it simple for them to start right now, whether it's improving your emails or even your PPs, right? To make it just super easy to get started. And then the final 5th point is, if you have authority, right, inject it. And if you want to inject it into your emails, do it through plain text from the expert's point of view. Now, if you don't have authority, actually everybody has authority. The founder, right? The founder, first of all, is authority overall. But if you want more authority, you can work with doctors or other people. There is ways to do that. But I think everyone here can inject some authority into their emails. And the easiest way to do that is from, through the founder. And lastly, kind of a bonus tip, you could say, is that structure beats aesthetics overall. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you want us to break down your email strategy like this with your flows, campaigns, any friction points, we offer a complimentary audit. The link is below. And if this was useful, please subscribe. At this moment in time, and probably for the very, very, very near future, I'm going to be breaking down what's actually working in e-commerce email every single week. And yeah, see you in the next one. Bye for now.